Now, retired NYPD Police Chief Wilbur Chapman. We're happy to have you this morning, sir. Thank you for joining us. So good morning. What do you believe is causing the rise in crime on New York subways?
Well, this is a long-term problem that has not been cured. The subways have been an alternative for those who are homeless, those who are mentally ill, and there has not been an effective deployment of police personnel, both to deter crime and an assisting apparatus for removing those people who have mental illness and who are homeless and give them the appropriate services that they actually need. As a result, they are preying on those people who use the subway as the lifeblood of New York City to get around the four boroughs in the city that it connects. The new plan is very interesting in that the redeployment should and hopefully will be effective in deterring crime. But there has to be a sustaining apparatus in treating those people who are homeless and those who are mentally ill and get them the services that they need, which has been a failure of both mayoral and this current mayoral administration and those previously. There doesn't seem to be any profit in working with the homeless or the mentally ill, so that issue has not been addressed appropriately.
Interesting. So I want to get to that plan in just a moment, but we know that recently the mayor suggested subway riders not wear headphones or focus on their phones during rides due to the crime. Is that a solution that you believe will be effective? Have you ever heard of a solution like that?
No, there's clearly a difficulty in making sure that there are sufficient police officers on the platforms and on the trains to create a safe environment for the riders. Having the riders deprive themselves of the comforts that they're entitled to is not a solution to the problem at all. In fact, all it does is create an issue where people think that no one is in charge and there is no sense of control over those lawless elements that prey on those who ride the subways.
All right. We only have about a minute left, but I just want to get to this as well. Dre outlined it very comprehensively, but he said the mayor has said crime is up more than 40%. We both know millions of people ride the subway. The mayor unveiling a plan over the weekend to add more police, install more cameras, and place those with mental health problems at psychiatric centers. What kind of an impact do you believe this will have in the short and the long term?
Well, it depends exactly where the police are deployed, whether or not they'll be effective. The cameras really aren't a deterrent. The cameras will accurately depict the video of people committing crimes, but that's not the primary purpose of the police. The primary purpose of the police is to create an environment where the riders will be free of crime. In terms of the services for those who are in need of support for mental illness or homelessness, unless the city creates an apparatus where they can remove people and give them services that are required, they will continue to migrate to the subways. The people who are homeless and are mentally ill are in the subways because the city has failed to give them a proper alternative. And until that happens, this plan will be really a Band-Aid fix on a major hemorrhage.
All right, Wilbur Chapman, thank you for your service and for joining us this morning.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.